I am Pipo Kalunan. I'm an architect and an urban planner by profession. Color trends will have a bearing on the environment. We will see palettes of greens and whites and grays. I think we're also going to see a contrast. There will be some colors that will be very vibrant. There will have diversity because cultures are blending. And we will see the combination of this new shift, which might change the formula of how we look at developing colors. I chose Euphoria, this very vibrant and expressive color of red, because it looks very dynamic. It looks alive and it's expressive. And for a study room, I thought that maybe the space should make you feel like you are passionate, that you have this willingness to study or to work. And I also combined it.
I never met you, but I know you're out there. If I cross the oceans, would you be there? A stranger's eyes that somehow look familiar.
Good afternoon. Greetings to everyone. I'm very happy and honored and excited to be here today for the launch of the 2016-17 Trend Bianco. As many of you may already know. Firstly, I'd like to thank the Nippon Paint Company, its officers and staff, for the education and experience I have had in participating in a workshop together with 9 other Asian countries representatives for the color selection that was discussed, deliberated, and chosen as our Asian color palette. Color trending is somewhat like fashion. It gives a preview of next season's palette building application. I remember the movie The Devil Wears Prada. If some of you have seen this, a fashion magazine editor named Miranda Priestley, who recently hired a secretary that had no care for fashion at the time and was not meaning to be disrespectful, had simply expressed in one meeting with Miranda that she was not particularly mindful of fashion. So Miranda explained that everything she was wearing was decided upon by the people in that very room even before she knew what it is she wore. So after that incident, this new secretary became very conscientious about fashion and became somewhat of a fashionista later on in the movie. It was very interesting and entertaining. You should watch it if you haven't. This is very much the same as the building industry. We who participate in the designing and construction, together with the suppliers, normally decide what the trend will be. And many people don't really feel that. But I think that holds true to all aspects in our day-to-day lives. I think it's a good thing, especially when you acknowledge the job of experts in helping the common person decide on the subject of their expertise. Let me briefly also explain about the display wall design back there. Many of you have seen, maybe as when you entered. This was inspired by a mid-century postmodern architecture, depicting a skyline of different buildings with a canopy in the middle supported by a torch-like pole. The canopy is attached to the bridgeway of two buildings in the center, signifying the connection of people from the ground to the tall buildings and building to building. By putting a canopy in the middle, you can pass under and sort of feel the tall buildings beside, as if we were the people and as tall as the buildings. And that we need to be connected. This analogy simply conveys that it is people that build the buildings and people that use the buildings, and that the connection is necessary for us to feel we belong. And my idea was to incorporate the 9 Trend Beyond Colors palette, making it sort of playful and festive. We are surrounded by color. Everywhere you look, there's color. And color may represent mood, place, event, and many more aspects in our day-to-day living. To say the very least, it influences our senses. I feel a certain proudness that the Asian identity, taste, and culture are now recognized by the global community. And having an Asian colored trend is an indication of that. How is this relevant in design? Specifically for architectural application. Many of you here are in the building industry and would probably say, I can't really have a colorful building. Or maybe I should be using non-glaring colors, especially to project an elegant and prominent building. These are also my thoughts. And interestingly, as I look around through my travels and work, I have been unconsciously concerned with what colors to use in designing. So today, I prepared a very short, less than 1 minute PowerPoint presentation to better explain what I want to say. Okay. Okay, we started 2,000 years before Christ, the cradle of civilization in Egypt. And you see, it's really more of the natural sand, natural stone that gave color. Rock-hewn temples in Abu Simbel, very much in the beige, much like Tavern Buff. And it continued to be very much, even in Greece, the choice was of granite stone, the predominant material of choice, strong and prominent. The Caryatids in Greece and the Parthenon. This is in Rome. They very much used granite and stone as well to make their monuments. They make their arches of victory. And today, we use colors very much like natural stone as well, as you can see here. So I now jump many years thereafter. But we also incorporate it in buildings. We've now brought it from just the house to the buildings. And we've made it even more iconic by accenting beautiful buildings. This is a mall and a complex by Santiago Calatrava. Some of you know him, very prominent architect. And became playful, whether for a small building or to show that it is there, that it exists. It it really does give it a sense of place. Even to highlight natural stone. This is very colorful, but he made it even twice colorful. This is an aquarium, also by Calatrava. And these are now deep purple colors. Turquoise. Groupings of buildings now, but the blue sticks out in this grouping of buildings. The construction, and the neutral colors are very evident, but the silver in the middle sticks out. But it looks even better with more colors. So structures, including stadiums, have really become, even road, have really used colors to enhance even small buildings. So the idea of colors really brings out more design, more possibilities, even for industrial. I'm sure if you drove by here and they were just white, you won't stop. But because of the design, became more interesting, even for factories. So in tall buildings, a little bit of color like this, red, has just made it extraordinary. The effort of just simply adding colors, even in a small way, makes the building stick out. Just one line of red makes this building already accent, or yellow. Even in the use of curtain wall, glass curtain wall. This is interesting. The entire building is red. This is in Barcelona, Spain. And I think one of the reasons this building won the best building for that year is partly because of color. Its prominence really sticks out, especially in the community when you see everything neutral and then you have one very red building. This is another building, and this is in Seville. It's an orange color. And it also sticks out. And it commands a certain attraction and prominence. This is one of our projects where we try to apply color. Again, to promote different colors. And this is a commercial center. And we've been working on this project for the past few years now. And this is now a graduation of colors. Thank you very much, and have a good